this here. If you've been paying attention to the news tab on your ship, you'll know that there is a new DE-sponsored PoE poll with a bunch of questions and grading options for players to give proper feedback on the quality of the most recent content dump in Warframe. So I went on and answered all those questions, but since I felt these answers aren't enough, I've decided to give them proper context. That being said, let's jump right in. In the poll, most questions were ranked from 1 to 10, where 1 represented a very negative feedback and 10 a very positive one. Alternatively, some questions featured multiple choice responses. With that clarification out of the way, let's begin. Number 1. Overall, how much do you enjoy the Plains of Eidolon? I gave this one a 10, meaning that I strongly enjoyed PoE. That doesn't mean that it's not without its flaws, and this doesn't mean, at least to me, that the new content is perfect, but I got a great amount of enjoyment out of it. That's why for me it's a 10. 2. Overall, how well is Plains of Eidolon integrated into the rest of Warframe's existing content? In this case I went with a 3, meaning that it's not well integrated, but that's a logical result of something completely new being added into the game. And I don't mean that as a bad thing, but the truth is PoE has nothing in common with the rest of Warframe, aside from the obvious stuff, hence the 3. Number 3. How much are you looking forward to the future open zones in Warframe? Not much to say with this one. 10. Very much looking forward to many of these new landscapes, can't wait. Number 4. Overall, how much do you enjoy Cetus as a hub for the Plains of Eidolon? 10. I strongly enjoy Cetus, the atmosphere, the design, the feeling it conveys. I absolutely love it. Here's to more. Number 5. Please rank the members of the Astron community in order of how valuable you believe they are to your experience. 1 for most valuable, 7 for least valuable. This one is pretty easy. Khonsu at 1, without him no reputation, no nothing Astron-wise. Quill Onko at 2, same thing as with Khonsu but with the quills. Fisher High Look at 3, since you need fish either for reputation or resources. Hawk at 4, saw crafting either for min-maxing or mastery fodder is something you want to get into. Old Man Zumbat at 5, since the gems are needed, but with the exception of a couple cases where you must have them in order to rank up in reputation, they're not mandatory. Master Tisanai at 6, because you need that Kavad skin, and finally Nakak at 7. She is my favorite Cetus character, but the masks and flares are meh. Number 6. How would you rank the experience of navigating through Cetus? I gave this one a 5. As in not very clear. Even with the recent improvement, fast traveling options and such, walking through the market can be disorienting. I honestly love to get lost in there, but that doesn't deny the fact that it can be confusing. Number 7. Are the variety of resources and items available through Cetus beneficial to Warframe? A 5, because I don't think they're very beneficial at the moment. However, if the next landscapes have a similar resource system where they make use of everything Cetus gives while only adding a couple of new resources at a time, then I'd say these resources have a use outside of Cetus itself, and the same goes to items. Fishing spears, gem cutters, sky arcwind charges, and more are exclusive to PoE for now, so that makes them restrictive and separate from the rest of the game. Again, with more landscapes that implement the usage of these items, problem solved. 8. Overall, how much do you enjoy completing bounties? 7. I gave it a 7. I enjoy it. Finally, true multi-objective missions in Warframe. That's good. Number 9. Do you feel that bounties reward a fair amount of standing given the time and skill requirements? A 7. I think it's fair, but not perfect. But this is more tied in to the reputation cap than the amount bounties give. Number 10. Do you feel that the item rewards offered by bounties are fair given the time and skill requirements? I gave this one a 3, meaning I think it's unfair, but this needs some context. With the exception of relics, which I believe have no place in a bounty's reward pool, I have no problem with the types of rewards. My problem is with the drops of said rewards. Getting 2 of the same during the same bounty is incredibly common and frustrating. Last night I got 2 Naramon lenses and 2 Meso H1 relics in the same bounty. And I am not complaining that I'm not getting rare drops, but just make it so that the same reward doesn't repeat itself during the same bounty. At least for me, it's very frustrating. Number 11. Do you feel that each bounty has an appropriate level of gameplay variety? This gets a 3. Very little variety. I mean, Warframe has a gigantic amount of mission types. In Eidolon, it all boils down to this: defend something, scorch something, find something, or kill something. And you could make the argument that the rest of Warframe is about that too. But where are the spy vaults, the sabotages, the mobile defenses, the assaults? Even though we only have 1 of that in the game, but this was a great opportunity to bring more. In the end, for all of its glory, Eidolon's mission types feel static for the most part, which goes against everything the Plains stand for. On top of that, you can find the same gameplay trope implemented twice in 1 bounty. Hence it gets repetitive after a while. 12. Overall, how do you enjoy fishing? I gave this one a 9, very much. This doesn't get a 10 because Grenier patrols are a pain and won't let me catch that Murkray. Number 13. Do you feel that the resource requirements for fishing equipment are fair? 6. Mostly fair. Still, especially with the rare baits, it can be a bit demanding resource-wise. Number 14. Do you feel that the resource and standing rewards for fishing are fair? 8. Fair. I think they've balanced out this one pretty nicely, with the exception of some rare fish resources like the Norg Brains. Those are doubly rare, but in truth, not many things required those. Number 15. Do you feel that the fishing gameplay mechanics are intuitive / is it a pickup? A 9. Fishing as a whole is very intuitive and fun. The only part that can be confusing at first is the whole double wheel for spears and baits. Number 16. Overall, how much do you enjoy mining? 5. Neither enjoyed nor disliked the activity. I'm not going to post memes about mining and not doing anything else, but it's not the worst thing in the world. 17. Do you feel that the resource requirements for mining equipment are fair? 8. Fair, for the most part, although the cost of refined gems can be a little high, thus making the mining a recurrent chore when crafting saws and arcanes. Number 18. Do you feel that the resource and standing rewards for mining are fair? Okay, you get it too. Very unfair. First, there is not enough common minerals when you cut them out to be able to trade them and not suffer a major setback in progression if you want to craft saws at the same time. And the Eidolon gems are way too uncommon, especially the Centrium, but I've heard that changes from player to player. Number 19. Do you feel that the mining gameplay mechanics are intuitive / is it a pickup? 8. I gave it an 8. Intuitive, yes. Easy? Try and do a perfect drawing, then answer that. Number 20. Overall, how much do you enjoy fighting Eidolons? 10. I strongly enjoy. Even now, not much to say. Eidolons get a 10. 21. Do you feel that the difficulty / skill requirements for fighting Eidolons are fair for experienced players? I gave this a 6, which means I think it's fair. However, I want harder fights, but that's coming down the road, I hope. Number 22. Do the Eidolon fighting gameplay mechanics require a balanced level of strategy / planning? This one gets an 8. Yes, I believe they do require a level of strategy, especially when capturing an Eidolon. Also, to know the patterns and attacks of one is half the battle. Number 23. Is the multi-stage progression of the Eidolon fight beneficial to Warframe's boss design? A 10. Very, very beneficial. No gimmicks, no invincibility stages, just you, your Warframe, and an increasingly pissed off monster. Fun, engaging, and challenging, all in equal measure. No wonder as to why Eidolons and Lefantes are widely regarded the best bosses in the game. 24. Do you enjoy the scanning of hidden glassfish to uncover Astron lore? As a lore geek, this gets a 10. Yes, I enjoy that very much, although they can be hard to find, but I do believe that to be part of the fun of it all. Number 25. Do you feel that the plants and animals of the Plains of Eidolon create a compelling environment? 9. Yes, but not a 10 because I need more wildlife. If a snowy plains ever gets implemented, I want polar bears and seals. Oh, and whales. Lots and lots of whales. Number 26. Do you feel that the placement of Grineer patrols and camps is well implemented? And 8. Yes, they are. The dropships and orbital deployments as a solution to enemy spawning was genius, but I do reckon that it can be too much, especially when you don't want anything disturbing you. I guess a bigger landscape can be a solution to it all. And lastly, do you feel that the difficulty scaling of Grineer enemies progresses fairly throughout the Plains of Eidolon? A 7. Yes, I understand this is aimed at new players, being on Earth and all, but I want harder enemies. I guess later versions of the landscape in other planets will make my wish a reality. And that was it. As a final thought, I want to say it's very courageous to put PoE out there for everyone to dissect it. It also spells a genuine feeling that the developers want to improve and get the next one right from the get-go, which is admirable. That's why honesty when criticizing the new content needs to be a premise. They are listening, which is in itself a refreshing departure from the rest of the industry. Even though they don't get it right every time, they're trying to, and sometimes that's all we need. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video or you found it interesting, please consider giving it a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more Warframe content and follow me on Twitter to keep up to date with everything. And share your thoughts about this survey in the comments. If you're interested in filling it, I'll leave the link to the forums in the description. Whatever you are, have an amazing day. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.